feel like I'm getting way better at it the more I do it too. I feel like the Vendig's throne room was pretty cool. So eventually, what I'm gonna do with this Blacklands map that we have up here is I'm gonna revamp it or edit it and fix it up a little bit better, make it even more interesting looking instead of just this splotchy mess. Oh, I mean, yeah, it looks like a map. Yeah, I'm not sad about it. It's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, oh, it is actually really strong. Oh no.
Yeah, but guess what? I tried to intimidate.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah, that's relatively fine. I only do that because if people aren't there and I need someone to control it, have a party member play control it. Yeah, I that is something that I mean he is a rogue, and I don't tend to do stealing from players too. So it will be interesting if he does because there are some instances where yeah there are certain instances where I actually think that's fine. Like oh there's a cursed sword, I need them to I need to take that away from them like before they realize it. And I think that's fine. I think that's actually interesting. Like if there's good plot reasons, but if it's like I'm gonna steal their gold, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you do that. The person wakes up, hey, your gold's missing. And it's like, where is it? It's like, no. Like in your morning routine, you're counting your gold. And, oh, you realize it's not there.
Dun, dun,
Oh,
dun.
yes. Probably not pizza if you can. Whatever you want to make. Whatever. Oh. You want to go see mommy? With, are you at the ball? Yeah. So we could probably get started when Justin comes in, can because nothing crazy can happen for a bit. The party escapes the ruined city of the Damas Vendig, uh, a dreamscape, an ancient city full of souls all across the continents of Osmaha, these small little islands that are broken up. Um, okay, apologies. Um, so yeah, you guys escape the ruined city with the mercenary group known as the Mist Hunters. Specifically, you left with their leaders, second in command, as best as you can tell, a Scrag, which is like a rat man, uh, whose name is Rit Cravenbane, and he he along with Vilii and Lance Coldbright, uh, escaped with you all to return back towards Baltic. And that's effectively where we last left off. Is you had just exited and left the city as the dream started to shimmer around you, as everything started to go chaotic, as many of the souls people were being let out, and there was a massive fight. Uh, although the dreamscape itself didn't fully dissipate, it seemed to have been at least disrupted for quite some time.
Oh, Daniel, real quick.
Yes.
My character sheet isn't working. I can't view anything besides bio and info.
Yeah, I accidentally did that. I did that to everyone. My bad.
Oh, good.
Yep. Great Lane. Alright, should be good. Exit out and jump back into it.
Thank you. Everything's good. Thank you.
And you guys are making your way back to from the ruined city towards Baltir. Um, you have Rit, who kind of pauses after a little time, says, "I think we should be safe for some time." Well done. It seems you are successful in routing the Vendix forces. My master eagerly awaits. However, we need to keep our heads low for some time. We will meet you in your town of Baltir when the opportunity arises. And he awaits if either of you guys wanted to say anything or ask him any questions. Other than that, he's going to get ready to leave. We can figure something out. We will be more subtle whenever the time comes. Correct. Baltimore is a small little settlement. We could locate you very quickly. If that's all, does anyone else have anything to say?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Then, if that's the case, uh, you guys end up breaking ways. A voice. A voice from your trap pack's cart, like this cart with like a, it's like a like a very big sled almost. uh, with but instead of like skis on it, it's like these sets of like almost tank wheels almost. It's like tiny little wheels, kind of ride a little low, very thin profile, but it's pretty large. I mean, it's about as large as like a caravan cart. And it's got like these sled dog like creatures that look like little mini fuzzy raptors with these bridles in their mouth. And um, you hear a voice. Uh, is everything all right? Are we taking a break? As the Medusa-like figure pokes their head out with their kind of sunning hat on, covering up their serpent hair, and then another individual kind of steps out in what you had seen before were these very interesting, old, but very regal and noble, white and bluish like robes. Now they're kind of tucked in and sashed in, and like the lower parts that flowed are like girded up to where they look like almost like shorts. And you see this individual with rolled up sleeves coming out. and you see Lance steps out a second. Uh, if we're going to set up camp, I can assist with that for sure. Otherwise, we can push on. It's getting pretty close to evening time. If it's just by myself for everyone, then um, I better get started now. But if I get some help,
My character's drawn right towards the little raptor dogs pulling the sled.
yeah, okay. You start walking over them in trats. Okay.
The little fangirl starts petting it. Oh my god, it's so fluffy.
You give them a little scritch, starting to get ready for camp, like take the bridles off, I guess. Okay.
I went to monk, but nothing changed.
Yes. Listen, sometimes life's hard and then you die. All right, exit out of it and jump back into it. Shit out. Yeah, that's because I removed the every person access and then gave it to specific people. Yeah, 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 yeah. We stole the full Declaration of Independence. There you go. Yeah. If you guys are setting up camp, though, Lance starts to go. He in the back of the cart, pulling out from the supplies that you guys have and getting ready to utilize them. He is throwing some logs and some stones for a simple campfire kit, looking around, trying to find a tinder box, some small rations that you guys have. He's starting to prepare, so that you're not eating just heart attack. A little something more interesting. Um, but yeah, campfires start to crackle warm, and the night and evening is starting to set. You guys are around you. You're in kind of an open field with a lot of dead looking darker trees. The grass is a little bit more vibrant. So it is around the Balta region where there's actually living flora and fauna in the area, probably from being supplemented from the Ash Peak Mountains, but not being drowned out by the amount of soot falling on them. They get they get life and nutrient, but not enough to choke them out. So this area is actually for the Blacklands very well, at least relatively fertile. You guys look around though, and kind of a little bit out in the open. There's not really much else except for some featureless, dried out trees that look like they've survived one or two firestorms and 1,000 years in the hot sun. Is there anything you guys would like to do for this evening campfire? Anyone to talk to?
Can I actually search the area, make sure we're safe?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll a survival check for me as you kind of go branch out and just do a big perimeter sweep. Okay, yeah, absolutely. So you two kind
I
of
got
break off.
21, 25, so
Yeah, 25 with advantage then for sure. As you two you guys break off and leave Isaac and the rest of your compadres to keep the camp safe, keep your other friends safe, and Silver kind of nuzzles you up, wondering if you're going out. Kind of give him a nod. You three join together and start walking a wide sweep around the campsite area. As you guys are wandering around, you get a sensation that uh, this place is a little interesting, and you see a small little creek actually rolling down the way, and the water doesn't look stagnant, mired like it typically would in these you know dead forests. Instead, it actually looks relatively clean. Um, and something else interesting, you see a worn out dirt path that kind of you join. It just goes from this open grassy field. You see like this dirt path slowly, gradually form itself, and in the midst of it, you see actually a little bit of butterflies, nice red butterflies that are just kind of floating around in the center. Kind of, yeah, like there's a flowing creek, there's a dirt path, and you just have like these weird red butterflies just kind of floating around that area.
Um, do I know what they are?
Roll a nature check for me, please.
Wow,
Woo!
26. Thank you. Where are these
Yes.
rolls last game?
So you do know what these are. Uh, these are called crimson killers. They are a butterfly swarm. Um, only in the concept of a butterfly is in like shape. These things are as far from the well-natured, relatively sweet uh, kind of insects. These are more like sky piranhas. Um, they either will, if they feel like they could get an advantage on a smaller creature, let's say like a rabbit or something that's wounded, they'll swarm on them without question. Or they will have a territory and try to, set eggs and different things around the area, and they'll protect it. They've grown an ability to uh, scare off sentient creatures even by uh, portraying messages through magic and through even natural like their natural wing patterns that spell out words or something that the mind can perceive as words to scare people off.
What?
Usually though they form themselves around a great source of magic and they kind of feed off of it.
Sorry,
So yeah.
I have an idea. Do any of us have a jar?
um I could say that you have like maybe like a mason jar at the cart,
Do we
some preserves.
and keep it as like a Hmm? We should. It says it scares away sentient creatures. Um, when did that ever happen? Okay, okay, fine. We won't catch it.
Yeah, Lance, absolutely. I rolled natural 20 for him too. Oh my goodness. Okay. Uh, I mean, he will give you pretty much the same general information. Oh, this it looks very good. I appreciate it. He'll give you the same general information, and he'll say there's not really a good way to, lure them. Like you will know if they feel threatened by you based on how they respond. If they attack you, they feel like they can take you. If they try to scare you away, then they're afraid of you.
True.
You have an orphanage that's about to be finished built within the week. That'd be so funny. That would be so funny. When it's like in bloom proper. Otherwise, it's just a nice symbolic gesture. Some people go to pray every once in a while. Hey, Tempose, if there's a structure or a building maybe that's not in the town proper, but nearby. I can make a nice home with a dilapidated building even. You turn it into a barn. It is completed. Oh, whatever you need to do, whatever proposes the least trouble for you. Mhm. How can she or can she do it? Um, she would say depends if they are so intertwined with one another that they would be as one creature, then it is possible. Yeah, absolutely.
Fine.
You guys, she starts heading over that direction with you all then. Um, and yeah, you start to walk over towards that house. Um, no, you guys are about to take a rest. Whatever you feel would be necessary. Yes, absolutely. Wonderful. What does the mage armor look like? Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. I like that. Okay. Um, so you start to see a purplish glow come around her. And energy starts to kind of course around her body and especially like the vital areas, like her torso and stuff. Almost looking like a pair of clothes. It's like draped over, like one of those. What are these called? Like a shawl, or something, just draped over her. And you guys start to make your way over to that direction. Okay. Uh, yeah, it'll be plus probably two or three, likely. Okay. Um, all right. As you guys head over that direction, yeah. So it's 15. Um, you approach near the site of the Crimson Butterfly. What would you like to do? Right, what are you doing at this time?
I'm preparing to see what he's gonna do
You're
and
just
try
gonna
to see if I
watch.
can mass catch him. If he, can I actually I have, I mean, actually I can use it. Can I get ready to charge up Gust of Wind?
Oh, okay, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if anything goes in doubt, it can be blown away.
Yeah, okay. So you're holding Gust of Wind, and then what is your plan? You're gonna ask her to petrify these creatures, or attempt to? So you're going to slowly approach them. Mhm. As you start to approach, yeah, as you start to approach, you see the swarm starts to stir, and then it starts to become more dense, and eventually the flickering like butterfly wings, the patterns start to flap, and then they like open their wings even longer for a while, and then like hold it for a second, and you start to see the word teeth be spelt out in the middle of it, and they start to get more agitated, and you start to see instead of this big like in this crimson cloud, like these this white letters of teeth, very jagged, very misshapen, start making themselves clear. And then they start being more agitated as you get closer, and it says teeth, 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 even smaller everywhere. They start to pulse almost in their swarm. What would you like to do? Continue moving forward?
I have something I'd like to ask the DM.
Yes. Ask the DM.
So I have a spell called Speak with Animals.
Yep.
Can I able to still hold my ability while trying to speak with them real quick?
If you cast speak with animals, do you want to see if that would work on them?
I'm gonna see if I can still hold my gust of wind while also trying to speak with them.
So holding a spell requires concentration, and so I believe speak with animals. Let me see. Let me see if it is though. If it's not, then sure. If it is, then no.
Speak with
No,
animals.
it's not concentration. So you literally tap yourself, and you have cast speak with animals if you want, so you can mark off the spell slot.
All right. I have.
What would you like to say?
I like to openly say why teeth.
You hear it speaks. Oh no, they hear. Ah, run! What? No, stay. Scared. Treasure. Keep it safe. We'll eat. No, no, they'll kill. You just hear a bunch of voices chittering like that.
Do you
Like
think
it's
after your treasure?
it knows. It heard treasure. How does it know? How does it speak? How? How? How?
I'm gonna
Should we
calmly.
run? Should we kill?
I'm gonna calmly say we do not want your treasure. We're just trying to get out of here safely. Means you no harm.
Get in here. Tell it to turn. Tell it to run. Tell it to leave.
I'm going to I'm gonna stop doing the gust of wind a little bit. I'm gonna still cast it, but put my hands down a little bit at my side, and I'm gonna ask them what can we do to prove that we're not after your treasure.
Leave. 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 Leave.
If we leave, you won't hurt us, correct?
No. No.
You heard that, Parnox.
Warnox did not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So they're guarding a treasure, and they don't like that we're getting closer to it, and they're willing to attack if we don't back away. I'm gonna kind of lean over to the butterflies. What kind of treasure is it? If you don't
So
mind
you're
me asking.
approaching. Are you approaching a little closer, or are you just staying same distance away?
I'm kind of just like leaning in, like just to talk, just out of
Oh,
curiosity.
it says they want the star. They want the star. They see the star, the shiny star. They want it. They want it. They want it. The star it shines. It makes us well.
What is your star? We don't want it, but what is it? Just curiosity.
It is our star. It's shiny.
So, Pana, they're guarding what they say a star. Yes.
Um, you would consider this a swarm? Yeah. Okay.
Ooh. Well, we don't know where it's at though. So if you ask them to move, we don't know where it's at though.
No. So Braden is actually making a good point. You don't like even in the swarm, you don't see this like the swarm lives around this magical item. Not necessarily like it's not in them, it's somewhere around the area.
Can
If you
I?
dissipate, if you dissipate, it'll allow you to look around for
Hold
it
on.
without the issue.
Can I use Druidcraft to see if I can sense using the plants around me where the star is?
Okay. Let's go with command first. Uh Parnox, you say dissipate, and the word echoes with power and hissing whispers that resonate around. It doesn't seem to affect these creatures, and you believe it's because they don't understand your language.
Wait, wait. Can he speak? Is there any wait, DM? Is there any way that he can like put his hand on my shoulder like some Dragon Ball stuff, and I can like translate, but using his power through me?
I don't think there is. Sadly, I don't think you will be able to do that.
I was thinking like Goku, like King Kai, the whole translation.
uh, yes, but sadly, you it is not able. You're not able to do so.
So I have an idea, and it might work. Just bear with me. I'm gonna use Druidcraft real quick to figure out where it's at. If I can find out where it's at, I can blow them away, and you rush and get it. Sound like a plan?
Create tiny effects, affect manifest skill more. You don't think Druidcraft would be able to produce the effect that you're looking for? It allows you to like make plants grow, but not necessarily to speak to them unless you speak with
Druidcraft
animals.
in tune with nature.
Uh, these are the effects of Druidcraft.
Whispering to nature's nature. You create what?
Not feel it, but you might be able to try to interact if they have something in them. But you don't think that's the case more than likely because you saw them like when they were like when they were displayed, it was more like a cloud. And not that they're tightening themselves around, there still was no object that they're tightening around. You don't think the thing is in them. You think the thing is somewhere nearby. That would probably be a that would be a detect magic to do that specifically. You think the best option you can have is to investigate the area,
Oh
but
no.
to do so would provoke the ire of these creatures.
Um, can we? So, do you think it would be outside the area or underneath something? Because if I can probably do a perception check, if that'll help, probably not.
See a small creek, a small short dirt path, and blocking that dirt path is this butterfly swarm.
What do you want to do, Pana?
Let me I'm gonna draw it out for you so you can kind of get a general gist. So over here, that's not what I want. Freehand. So imagine there's a creek here. Okay, the red line's the creek. There's a brown to dirt path that stops right about there into the grassy field. And then on the other side is just some more trees and dead life. The creek kind of emerges out of some underground rocks here, and then actually descends right back into some more underground rocks. So it's a small little stretch of maybe underground water that's being shown. And these creatures are like right here, and you guys are over here,
Can we
effectively.
can we help tell how big the swarm is?
Yes, it's size large, so about 10 feet worth of butterflies.
This
Quite a
sounds
bit.
very inhumane. I already know what you're thinking about. I may know what you're trying to do, Moonbeam. I already have it prepared. It's already prepared.
Question of the day. What do you guys do? You can disperse them, or you can turn away, or Braden, you can talk to them and see if you can maybe convince them to leave. These are the three options I think that are reasonable for you
I
to
can
approach.
get them to leave.
Potentially, if you wanted to try an angle or a way of communicating with them, you could be like, this is just me kind of, this is a teaching moment, I think. Uh, just because a pathway seems somewhat difficult to do doesn't mean that it's impossible. For instance, you could, let's say, oh, I have a new shiny treasure that I'll give to you this, and it's even more impressive than your other treasure. Or you could say, oh, what you have right there is super dangerous, and I'm here to collect it. Or intimidate them. Say, if you don't leave, we're going to burn you guys down and take whatever you want. So you might as well just give it up anyway. There's a lot of ways you can approach that.
Sounds good. I'm gonna intimidate.
This is Daniel talking to Braden rather than DM talking about what Ravana's thinking.
I'm gonna lean over to Parnox and go, "They're just butterflies. Let's say we eat them. They're food." But they don't know that. Yes. I will try to intimidate.
Yeah, yeah.
Remind. How about this? I'm gonna try to intimidate. If it doesn't work, I'm going to start use my gust of wind. You can go search the area while I'll hold them back.
Oh, oh, okay. No, not initially.
So we're trading them the mask for the star, right? All right, I'm going. Uh, Ponox, hand me the mask. Hey, would you like something better than that starlight?
Star better, better. What
I'm
is
gonna
this possible?
I'm gonna with one hand. I'm gonna show them the mask.
Uh, one's this. It's a face. 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 Can we wear face? Can we be like the people?
It can be whatever
Yeah.
you want. It's very valuable. Shiny, very shiny.
As you look at it, it's a shiny. It's actually a shiny like porcelain mask. So yeah, it does have a glisten and a glaze to it. Yeah.
Kind of like pull the salesman act. I kind of stopped channeling Gust of Wind. I take my shirt and I'm rubbing it, really shining it up. Look, I can be even more shiny. All for you. If you let us near your starlight. All be yours.
It's the star, but it has the mask, but it has the star. What shall we do? The star gives us strength. The star gives us power. But what of this? This mask, we could maybe walk it as them.
This gives you the ability to become one of us.
Roll a deception check.
They're, oh, can Frank help me lie? Just he can't understand me.
Oh,
Never mind.
see what the dice say. Yeah, it actually is pretty similar. Um, that you hear the swarm say, maybe the mask is strong, but the mask alone is not enough. We need the clothes. We need the ability to look and walk and feel like them.
Oh,
Tell them, give us their shirt.
I'm not giving Panos. Give me your shirt.
It's just, just pause it.
There. Look, the the best set of clothes money can buy, along with very shiny mask. You're one of. Oh, I can already tell. You look just like us.
We leave the mask over by the tree, 10 paces away. We will make a new nest around it.
How can I trust you that you won't just take the mask and go?
How can they trust us?
You show us Starlight first, and we'll give you Starlight, or we'll give you mask and clothes.
Make an animal handling check with me, but do it with advantage because they seem now they're on the back foot.
24.
Woohoo! To see the starlight for the mask. This is the dream. We
I want.
desire this creature that can speak to us. We are one step away from ascending. Yes. Show them the stars. And you see the thing that says teeth undulating stops, and this butterfly swarm moves over towards the creek, starts to spin like a little tiny tornado. And you see rolling out is this little small gem that is pinpricking with like beams of light out of it. There, we have the light. Now. And it kind of rolls it back into the water. Place 10 paces away. The mask
You
and
know,
the shirt.
I'll happily lower down my guard. No more gust of wind. I'm going to put it right by the tree. There you
Okay.
go.
This is an important thing. Uh, it's not going to really matter because you guys are about to take a long rest. But know this: when you concentrate or when you hold the spell, you cast that spell and you're just holding it. So even if you don't use it, you still mark off the spell slot.
I
Does that
already
make
did.
sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
So like even if you cast gust of wind, like if you're like I'm gonna hold gust of wind, and then you decide I'm not gonna use it, you still use that spell slot,
Gotcha.
and you are also considered concentrating on this one. So just it's just a D&D thing, but it's good to know when these moments come up.
Hey,
You go over and you place the stuff away, and you just kind of back away, and the swarm kind of flies around, and it flies into the shirt, and it starts to swell the shirt up, and then the mask kind of lifts up, and you just see this floating mask and shirt just kind of hovering in the sky for a moment, and then you just hear, "This pleases us. Take your trinket and leave. We must rebuild our nest.
Before I go, do I already have the starlight?
No, you can go pick up the starlight now though.
I'm
It's
gonna,
it's in that creek somewhere.
I'm gonna go pick it up.
Okay. You cautiously go over and pick up this small stone-like gem, which is emanating pinpricks of light.
But oh, go ahead, Parnas. Hmm?
I'm going to say, as a generic material, mark off one supply for the shirt because that's kind of what supplies represents. It's just random small things that you guys have. So mark off one supply for the shirt and whatever that mask is. Mark that off as well. Cool, cool.
Before we leave, I like to say one more thing to the swarm.
Yep.
I like to offer them friendship. If we find more shiny, they keep us maybe. What would they have to offer for friendship?
No, go. We have business. Leave. Go.
Never mind then. Well, thank you for your business. I hope you would love the mask.
And they leave your two devices. Um, that would be survival check too, but that's kind of the purpose of your initial survival check, like checking around the camp area, see if there's anything useful or interesting. You know,
Can I?
most of the Blacklands doesn't have very easily salvageable material. So what yeah, so what you tend to do is bring a lot of random stuff with your supplies that can kind of constitute that. You'll bring like small little like if you have arrow shafts or something like that, you might make a few more arrows, but mostly weaponry and stuff like that you will need to actually have purchased or found. But other small things you have in supplies.
Can I do an
If you're a ranger, however, you would be able to more effectively do that. Okay. Braden, you were saying what about an arcana check?
Can I do an Arcana check on this new shining star in my hand?
You can make an arcana check, but to figure out how it works, it would be a the spell identify, which Justin can cast once per day. So,
I'm gonna wait until Justin comes on to
cool.
start investigating this thing.
Okay. Absolutely. So you have the small pinprick of light. At least you know this. It seems to like as you're looking at the pinpricks, it seems like the pinprick's actually not emanating from it, but it looks like it's actually coming into it, like it's sucking up pinpricks of light. But as it gets funneled closer to it, it looks like it's almost creating bright light in a weird way.
I have a feeling this thing like can take light and then reappear it. Kind of the Harry Potter item. Ron's thing. Sounds good to me.
Okay. You guys end up finding a good spot to bed down for a campsite. The warm fire crackles. A perimeter is well established. Small little traps are set out just in case something comes by to alert you all. And you take good shifts to make sure you all get a nice long rest. And you are uninterrupted with your long rest.
Right, spells. Let's go ahead and fix that.
As you guys take a good rest, you hear a a sound in your mind. And I'm gonna say it goes to someone roll a d4 on 1 to 2, it's Parnox, on 3 to 4, it is Rabal.
All right.
Who gets the message? 2. Okay. Um, you hear a message in your mind. Uh, it says, "We have located your precious town of Malta on our map. We shall visit within a few days. please take opportunity to make yourselves available. We will be there on the. Let's see if we can see the calendar. We shall visit on the 13th of Heatfall on New Day. And you feel as if though you can speak back in 25 words or less
This is for Frank or me.
for Pronox. Or wait, who did I roll? Yeah, Pronox.
Dysfunction.
And it is now the 5th of rest day, or a 5th of Heatfall on rest day, and you guys can begin making your trek back towards Balter. Your Trap Pack, relatively speedy in its nature, can make this trip back to Balter in about. Trap Pack goes 35 through normal terrain, and so most of this trip will be on good pathways and relatively normal terrain. So you guys could probably make it back in 2 days.
Nice.
So your first day, marching your way deep in the forest. You guys know that there's that cemetery and the weird ghosts that are around that area, and kind of avoid a little bit of that forest. Um, you see like the fog and stuff ripple around, and you make a big wide berth of it, uh, not wanting to invoke the ire of these odd creatures. Right. Mark off one supply for yesterday, one supply, and then two more supplies. So yes, but you guys do make your way back to the town of Balter, relatively reasonable, and your cart is intact, full with a few new treasures and some new allies. As you guys approach the town of Balter, how do you want to what do you tell your new allies on like where they need to go and what they need to do? Probably, yeah. 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 Thereabouts, yeah. Yes. Lance called right. Well, yes, we can oblige these requests, but first, I don't know. I feel as if though my fates are very intertwined with this young lady. I think it would be in my best interest to at least make sure she safely made her way into the structure. That would be an interesting thing to maybe make for the town or something, like as a project or something. Uh, yes, we can do that. Very well. I will begin. We will head that way, and the two of them start to maneuver their way. Where do you guys go to first? You can see the scavenger camp that's parked outside is slowly dwindling in the amount of tents and people that are in. As you know, they've been going and dealing with some other problem, but um, it's thinning out more and more. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Druid. Um, hell's your plan?
All right, so you guys start branching out and going to different locations. Heading by, you see people working on the palisade walls. As you guys have a small project, they're prepping and getting ready to try to maybe expand them and improve them a little bit. Uh, some people greet you and they say hey and hail stuff. They look a little down, like they've had pretty hard weeks recently, just with everyone being, constantly asleep for such a long time. But for the most part, you guys are able to navigate yourselves into town. Who's going where? Where we're gonna start?
I'm gonna go to the historian, history
Okay,
guy.
historian. Yeah. Okay, so you head towards Arterius and Ravani. You head towards the probably the olive branch is where he'd be. As you guys go towards the olive branch, you you open the door and you see dashing by is Kaylin, like running by real fast. Then she stops and she says, "Come, come, come! You have to see this. You have to see this. Come, come, quick!" And she ushers you, Ravana, into a small side room.
Uh,
As you look in the side room, you see one of these individuals. She says, "I've been keeping good tabs on the individuals and making sure that nothing's progressed worse. But look at this." And she shows you a scratch mark that's kind of been a relatively open wound for quite a bit of time. And you've seen this as a mark of the Ilsonos, is that the wounds don't really heal over even through magical healing. Um, she looks and she says, "Do you see it? Roll a medicine check for me."
all right. Oh yeah. Boom. Medicine. Medicine. Ew.
You look at it and it just looks like a nasty wound. But she looks at you and she sighs a little bit. You don't see it. It's scabbing over. It's scabbing. I don't know what happened, but it's finally scabbing. I don't know. I didn't try any tonics or anything, but for some reason the coagulants in their blood are starting to take effect, and now they're actually healing from the cut. What happened?
Well, I guess our deal worked.
Your deal worked? What are you speaking of?
That's a question to ask Pawnox, but let's just say everything's been taken care of.
What do you mean everything's been taken care of?
Nope.
Power walk out of there.
Well, so far, no more. How do you say it? Arsono?
Yo, Sono,
Il Sono in the town of Balter. You're welcome.
this it, ah, that's amazing. That's incredible. There's no way that well done. If this actually works and people are able to awaken, I don't even know. We'll have a celebration, I think. This is wonderful news. Did you need a drink or something? I'm sorry. I'm gonna go check on the other patients. I just noticed this. But do you need something?
No, I'm good. I'm just on my way to show the story in these tomes we found.
Yes, he'll be in one of the upstairs rooms.
Is he available now?
He'll be available if you open that door, whether he likes it or not.
Let me go ahead and start heading towards the door.
Okay, you go and you open the door. You pass by uh, the tiefling who kind of like actually owns this place, even though Miss Miss Kaylin kind of runs roughshod over this poor place. You don't see Talia up on the stage. She must be taking a break and doing something. But you go up the stairs and you see Brett the Archivist, who's effectively taken one of these small little living rooms and has made it his own. You see books and scrolls and ink cartridges and all sorts of different things spilled and sprawled around. You open the door. What? What do you? What? You got to knock on the door first. Come on, please.
Oh, I
Something.
slowly close the door and you hear knocking. I start knocking the door.
You
Uh,
you come in. Ah, frustrating little woman.
Hey, um, so I have these tomes. Can you take a look at them? And I hand them the tomes.
He like turns around, give me that, snatches it from you. He puts this monocle on and looks. He's like, "So where did you get this?" And he starts to kind of thumb through a few of the pages, these old pages.
I found them in an old abandoned dungeon on our trip to help everybody. What are they?
Well, these are historical manuals of the ancient history of Osmahat before, where the fundamental rend when the elemental planes severed connections from our small planar bubble, whatever. It's boring stuff, okay? But I I think there might be something interesting here because, and he kind of shows and points at the very bottom of some of these pages. Those are the things I'm after, and he shows you footnotes. See, the beautiful thing about these is they they had a great conversation between arcane scholars, and some people tapped into these. And if I'm able to acquire the books that are part of the greatest conversation of the Osmahat mages, then, well, let's say I would be able to revitalize quite a bit of the arcana lost in these past ages, and maybe even be able to, I don't know, this is an ambitious project and idea, but maybe one day make a school to teach people. That would give me everything I need if I could find those conversational books. This tells me these footnotes might lead me to the titles of those books, and maybe, just maybe, I can find them, get a full collection, you know? But
It,
they're valuable, very, very valuable. I thank you for it.
would it be worth to you to have these books?
Oh, well, it'd definitely be worth my assistance if you needed some help with something. An IOU. Currently, I don't have a very strong or stable form of income here yet. I was promised that if I came to help you guys, you'd have a shop or something like that for me to reside in. And well, still, he kind of points around in this inn. So I don't have much. use. I don't have much use yet, but once I get my own place and we can start some experiments, I have a trick or two up my sleeve for you. And if you give this to me, this might help me to be able to do something when I have that shop.
Uh, let's make it a little deal. I kind of do the old like I'm a druid, natural wilderness girl. I kind of like spit my hand to the whole handshake thing. We have a deal. Sounds good.
That's disgusting. He puts a little hanky, but sure. And he just kind of grabs, shakes. I
Alright.
I will assist you all once I have my own shop or structure or whatever. I can help you out, do whatever we need to. And believe me, the knowledge contained in these books, if you know how to parse through it, you can actually find how do you say secret locations for places that really the casual observer would never see. Or we could find out where the bastions are and maybe even find a new home for well the people of Balter or even the people of the Blacklands. Make a new bastion itself if we have to. But like I said, I'm shooting for the sky here.
You've already made my day.
Have you thought too? Let's see. Last wall, terraforma. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Mhm.
I'm going to thank him for
Oh, that I believe that would be correct. Let me see. I don't have all my notes with me yet, so sorry. Continue. No, I wish I was. Uh, the bastions. Terraforma, Planetarium, Fire Castle, Possible Bastion. Okay. I think this was a city on the outskirts of a bastion. Is maybe I did say it was a bastion. I might have misspoke. I might have to go back and look at that
my character's
because
gonna
there should be four bastions in this area, and I my brain isn't thinking exactly where they are yet. Let's find it. Lit Fire, Planetarium, oh, that's the last one. So we know where two of the four are. You might know where three of the four are. Maybe. Okay, continue.
my character's gonna thank him and kind of like
You
start
give
making.
them the scrolls as well.
I mean, yeah, I'm handing the scrolls and start wandering, making my way towards Parnox.
Okay. He starts to read through the scrolls. I don't know if you want to know what those are
Or the
or what
scroll.
they're pertinent towards. So you had old tomes and then old scrolls as well.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna hand him the scrolls and see what they can do.
Okay. So he reads through these and then you see he kind of goes over and unfurls them on a desk and he takes a a like a weird device that looks like a glass crystal with like a monocle attached to it, puts it on his eye and looks at it and says, good, fine, good, fine. You see, back in the days of Ozma, there used to be treasure hunters of some form. Uh, they'd store their wealth different places, and they sometimes put them out in the open, just as challenges to see if an individual could locate them, and if they could locate them, maybe even join their rank as treasure hunters. You have stumbled on something such as that, and he kind of flips the paper around, and he like looks over and he reaches over a cabinet, and he pulls out this weird vial, and he like pours it on the back of the map. The map starts to sizzle and burn and pop, like and on the back he kind of like dusts like this ash and weird shards of crystal away after this uh, reaction happens, and he kind of shows it to you and he's like, this right here is one of those simpler maps. It's uh, from what I can tell, and he kind of like unfurls it looks like they stored an old warship or battleship of some form eh, off the coasts of one of these islands of Osmahan. More than likely, and he kind of pulls out a big map to show you. More than likely, somewhere around this area, there should be a cove near an ancient city. The cove should be on the south western side, is what it looks like. If you find that cove, though, apparently there might be a broken warship with some old treasures. I don't know how useful that could be for us, but or well, you, I guess, if you're gonna go and die.
I believe that's up one of my partner's alleys. He used to be an ex treasure hunter, that I believe.
Well, that's up for you to decide. Anyway, thank you. You enjoy. Howdy, howdy.
Different difficulties.
I'm doing good, and you?
Hey, there you go. Okay. Um, your you have a new marker that marks off the abandoned ship on your map, so that you can maybe one day go there to see if you can delve and discern what's going on there. Okay. Um, you guys are in the town of Balter, by the way, Brandon. So, or fix this Brandon. Justin. I literally mixed Braden and Justin at the same time, and somehow came out with Brandon.
He did have a friend named Brandon.
That's true. I did. But yeah, you guys are in Balter. You have some projects that are currently going on. The orphanage actually would be finishing up this week, so you start to see the structure looking kind of nice with it.
Nice.
You're also seeing the old barn is finished as well. Parliament is doing their absolute darndest to work on some other projects. Frank is going to speak with Arturius, who is the scavenger camp's head. The scavenger camp, every single time you go and see it, it's getting thinner and thinner and less people as they're dealing with something else that's kind of taking their attention away.
We don't know what that something else is, or like have an idea what it is.
The So last you talked to them, there was a massive dispute between the children of the Blood Chalice and the faithful of Othio. And that dispute started to cause quite a ruckus around the land. And so the Bastion, the Last Wall Bastion, called the scavengers to go and effectively try to arbitrate that deal because it's getting really, really bad. And they're pulling all of their forces basically to try to keep it from exploding. Because if it explodes and like people start going to full on war, it really messes with their supply lines. So they're trying to keep that from happening and pulling everyone they can to do. It is also the it is the fifth of rest day of the month of Heatfall as well. So it's basically like Saturday. So a few more days and a bunch of projects should be done. Parnux, you're going to see Arturius, right?
Okay.
Swear. Okay. So yeah, so this is the new map. So you get to see the barn is built, the orphanage is built, and The camp is way smaller. Um, that's the Parliament. That's part what Parliament's trying to build. This was the barn that is not fixed, and it gets its own little thing. Yeah. We'll jump Isaac in there. Sure. Isaac, you head over to the olive branch. As you kind of walk in there, you're looking for Talia, aren't you? Say it again.
Yes.
Okay. As you see, she's not up on the stage. She's kind of you see her actually come back from the kitchen with like a full baguette and like a fruit bowl, and like a mouthful of like cheese, and she's just like, shut up, and she just kind of walks past you a little bit.
Fine.
She like pushes a stool with her foot, hops up on it, and then like saddles up and like stands up, puts a bunch of this on the table. Then she's like, "Hey, we need to get some shorter tables. Come on." Anyway, how can I help you all?
I'm looking for that. You said there was an item that we wanted to have her look at.
Yes, there is.
And we have the Shakti object. The crown.
Are you talking about the star?
Yeah, sorry.
Ah.
I told her I've got something to show you, and I pull out the coin and show it to her.
She looks. Oh, where'd you find a thing like this? She kind of like takes it, flicks it up in the air, and catches it. Just kind of stares at it, and then you see as she looks at it, like a little bit of color drains from her face, and she says, "Oh, where did you get this?"
Town that we just got back from.
Why'd you think I needed something to see something like this? She kind of like quickly puts it on the table and slides it towards you.
Well, it seemed like it might be related to you.
Why'd you think an old dusty coin would be something? Well, just because I like gold?
Well, we met somebody out there with the same last name as you.
You're making some funny jokes. I actually appreciate that. I'll tell that next time I go on stage. I think that'll be a good icebreaker.
No, not really the joking type. I'm being serious.
You know that I'm the last song-striped line, right?
Well,
I,
technically, yes, but you see, it was this whole thing with there was a ghost in a shack, and he had your last name, and
goes to the shack, gave you a coin, and said, "Hey, give this over to someone else who has the same last name." That sounds like a good idea.
I mean, he seemed pretty reasonable at the time. I mean, look at where we're at. Anything can happen out here.
I can't believe. I'll tell you something about me a little bit soon. Isaac. You see, back in the day when we used to live across these lands, we had a lineage of bard extraordinaires, people who would perform in taverns and innkeepers, but also in the bastions for kings and crown alike. And I used to be part of, let's say, a good portion of our family who traveled from bastion to bastion. We ended up in that cursed last wall bastion, whatever it was, and we ended up having to ride it out once everything hit the fan and all of the world started to die. The sky was black and the moonlight was really not to be seen. So when the first opportunity came for me to go back and see the rest of my family, uh, see the heritage of the Songstride, it became very quick to me for me to realize that the only people who survived were the people in Rastwell Bastion. So I thought, well, if I'm the last of my line, might as well find out what the rest of my heritage did, and so I could carry on their name. But the thing is that I haven't had much luck finding them. So I found this wee little boy that studied history. He's quite an interesting young lad. I know you've met him, the scholar upstairs. He's been helpful and, you know, helped me locate places where they had been. But this is the first time ever that I've actually got something that I know for a fact is tied to my family line. That's the crest that we have on it. That was an old double-sided trick coin we'd use for heads or tails, and you would be able to. We'd apparently flip a coin and cheat with that coin or something like that. I'd make a couple bucks. My hope is that I can take the art of the songstride and pass it down to generations of these people out here. I want to be a teacher one of these days. And I know I'm going to be at an orphanage teaching people about how to sing lullaby songs around a campfire. But one day I hope one of them decides to actually take this serious. Maybe one day it could be a songstride. You see, the songstrides aren't just blood relatives. It's a group where people were bards who love life and love everything around it. So this is the first step, I think. The first step I've actually seen in quite some time towards maybe forwarding that dream. But of course, I also do like money, so I will take that coin from her if you would be so kind.
Sure. Just hand it over to her.
You're a good kid, Mr. Isaac. You're a good kid.
Yeah, sorry if I struck a nerve or made you uncomfortable without knowing it.
No, it's fine. I just thought you might have, I don't know, been talking with someone and trying to poke a nerve or two. The fact that you actually talked to a real ghost of a relative of mine makes me curious as to what else is out there for the Songstride name. Anyway, I'm glad to hear that Brett wasn't trying to pull a fast one on me, that you guys weren't in on it. This is quite a day. It's quite a trinket. I don't know if you heard the news as well, but the wounds on the people who have been infected by Elsona, Kaylin, the medic who's been dashing around there, she's said that all of their wounds are starting to actually scab over and heal. Her thinking is that at this rate, it'd be, well, by the end of the week, people would at least have a heal from the scratching, and maybe from that, they'd be healed from the sickness or whatever it is. People might be waking up this week. And I think it'll be a good day.
It's really good to hear.
It's really good to hear that you guys had such a good hand in it. I overheard a little conversation, but you'll be the talk of the town for a while. Have fun.
It's pretty quick.
Not enough people to pass around word yet. But in a few days there will be. So have fun, Mr. Isaac. We're going to have a festival coming up pretty soon. I can see it. I'm going to pick some more songs anyway, just to get it ready. All right. Is there anything else that you want to do? Or is that sufficient?
I'm good with that.
Okay. You give that as a small little boost to the town's morale. The stories of how the weird ghost coin gets back and how Talia has been cheered up quite a bit has improved the town's unity by a couple percentage points. So, making the town a little bit more unified. Yeah, you'd love to see it. Paradox goes to Arturius, the scavenger. As you are managing your way through, you see He's in a frenzy, still directing people in this camp as people are rallying themselves. He sees you approaching. He says, "Friend, yes. How can I assist you today?" It's a lot worse than I thought, friend. The battle between these children of the blood chalice and this faithful of still it is becoming like I want to pull my hair out, but we're not sure what's going on. It seems like there's a third player involved, pulling the strings, but we can't tell, and no one can really tell if they're from the children or the faithful, or if they're from something else. Honestly, I'm too scared to ask at this point. So we're pulling everyone we can to try to keep the tensions as low as possible. Seeing some Bastion scavengers around, trading with people, and being security for free, quote unquote, is it's helped. But I'll be honest with you, if it goes at this rate, one more week of this tension, and we'll have to pull everyone from outside of Malta. And I'm sorry for that thing, but that's how life goes sometimes. Sometimes you have to bite the bullet on the small losses to keep a good future ahead of you. Quite some time, yes, absolutely. I do think that would be in all of our best interests, as you seem to profit quite a bit from these exchanges, and I profit quite a bit from them as well. I don't want to have to leave from Bolton. I don't. I love it here. This is quite a beautiful tent that I've set up. The people here are amazing. The bread is actually good. You even have homegrown stuff that sometimes we can actually eat. So instead of having it imported from the bastion. So that's impressive. Most places don't. So I wouldn't mind staying here a while. But at this rate, it's not gonna happen. But if you help out, who knows? A group of mercenaries not under anyone's guise, especially from Balter, the peacemaker's town, the helm of the olive branch, might actually be able to live up to their name outside of the walls. Yes. But you said something in the trade. I could purchase it from you just for the weight of the gold on it, plus a little bit maybe for the craftsmanship, but gold for gold, worthwhile. Uh, probably give you maybe 32 gold pieces for that. I don't think that's unfair. I said 32, but 35 sounds even better. Sure. He like leans back, he puts his fingers together, and he looks at you and says, "Oh, well, this is quite a conundrum. Now the fact that you've shown this to me, I don't think you can leave this camp with that item, because I won't let you. Now that you've shown this to me, you can't leave this camp with that item. But we are friends, so we will make a deal. This isn't a walkaway negotiation anymore. And he kind of snaps his fingers, and you see like the two guys who are usually around, they kind of like perk up and they whistle, and you see some other people like perk up, and they start to just people who are just milling around. They start to like stop, and they're just paying attention to this guy. He leads forward. This is very serious. What you have before you is quite profitable, and I need it. But yes, how about this? I will give you. I'll give you 500 gold pieces for it, and I know it seems so undercutty, but this will be my promise to you. I will open up free trade for your group, exclusively your group. Well, even for something like this, even if you want to for special individuals, I will expand my offer to particular individuals who can keep a tight. I will allow weapons and armaments to be purchased for myself as well. And I will throw in one free armament. Are you trying to say that you want these Parliament figures dubbed? Very well. I think that works out very well in my favor. Thing. Wonderful. Hand to me the sapphire right now. He kind of greedily he kind of like greedily grabs it and like puts it in a pouch, and he takes the rest of his two side guys and nods down. They all whistle, and the camp kind of goes back to their business. And he just exhales. Sounding fun, pleasant business, but that took it into a different realm. I think you understood. Uh, you gain another 250 gold pieces as well. Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of moment to kind of chat too as well about plans. I have to take care of some business real quick.
Mhm. What projects are currently still underway? We mhm. Mhm. I would. I would vote for the. I think we'll put in as vote for building Medusa a house. Mhm. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I'm here. He's yes. So you can off the DMG, um, from now till there, you can attempt to purchase weapons from him. Um, and these extend to even iron weapons or different material weapons. However, it just depends on what you need. He can basically like place an order, or if he has it in stock, then and there, he can like sell it to you, albeit for a marked up price. Yeah, but like you can get it. Yeah, but now he does sell. And that would be that would be up to your choice. I could say anything from like a simple weapon to a martial weapon. You could probably choose something, or armor, or armor. He's got two. Oh no, yeah, he's got a yeah, ironwood sword. Yeah, ironwood sword and iron sword. Yeah.
No, I still have the makeshift one.
Um, the best he could think about is there are particular weapons crafted from certain materials that are more efficient in dealing with other creatures. So like moon forged weapons deal with um what's their faces, black beasts easier, or a or a like ironwood is pretty standard material, but it oh, what would be another good one? Um, you could you could use like for instance iron, like pure iron is also extremely useful against certain astral beasts. They don't respond well to it. There's dream silver, which you can use for uh, what are the other types? Dream silver is also, especially effective against Vendigs, actually. Um, so yeah, you can get an iron weapon, which dream silver. He could get a dream silver rapier if you paid him for it. Yes, correct.
Mhm.
Yeah, simple to martial weapon. Either or.
I might get a new weapon. I think Justin should get a new upgrade.
I think yeah, no, he has a long sword and a short sword, right?
Yeah, I think it's a short sword.
Because one of them does D8/D10 and the other one is D6. Yeah, I mean you'd be getting a battle axe. You just get a battle axe. I So iron weapons, I mean this is just for you guys' sake, so you know. Depending on certain monsters have certain resistance against like bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from weapons that aren't this, you know? So it'd be like if you fight like certain golems, it'd be like they're immune to damage from bludgeoning, piercing, slashing that's not adamantine weapons, you know? Like they don't take any damage unless it's magic or a weapon that does the specific thing. So collecting different types of weapons is not a bad idea for all of you, especially if we use different things. You know what I mean? Like eventually it'll be good for you to get different bullets. Well, your gun's counting as magic though, like right?
Oh,
But you can get different.
how much steel do we have? How much iron do we have, or steel? Well,
Yeah, Schrodinger's weapon. Schrodinger's weapon. There you go.
I have an idea for later on. Mhm.
Hmm.
Okay. Yes. I do have an idea for later on if DM and group allows it. So I started off with Silver, my wolf, right?
Yeah,
At this point, it should be like a young teen by this point, correct?
it's like a year old.
And a doll, that's pretty much almost a full-grown
It's
animal.
it's considered an adult. Yes.
What do you guys feel about DM allows it giving my dog armor?
You
And
could get barding for it. That is true. I I would say that's definitely a custom thing for sure, but you can get a barding for it for sure.
maybe have my dog help out. I was like, my dog's now old enough to do, commands and fight on its own. And
For what? Silver is just a different creature. So it'd be like, Silver, go do this. And Silver would have their own initiative. Yeah, you just talk to them and you'd probably I might probably make like an animal handling check to see if they understand. And then they'd probably try to do it. They're just a different creature. Like it's not like the ranger. So they don't scale or anything like that. It'd be like if you asked an NPC to go cook someone. They're like, all right, we'll try it. And then they get cooked. And it's like, oh, they're dead. Sorry.
send it to me.
Yeah, that would be one of those things you wouldn't ask Arcturus. That would be something you'd take to the smithy itself. You'd actually have to build the smithy for that because Arcturus is not gonna be able to like smuggle wolf barding out. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if we have extra teammates, we'd have a dog and one day a dragon to help us. They have eggs.
Yeah, you've had it for a total of 1 day.
Oh, wait, Isaac has an egg.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Wait, Isaac has an egg. See, Isaac has an egg, right?
Yeah,
Can I?
they both have weird golden looking eggs. Yes.
Can I? But can I see what? Can I see if I recognize what their eggs are?
Sure, roll a nature check.
just the, just to check out. You said it's what was it again? Nature check.
Yeah.
Oh wow, what I don't roll good.
You don't know. So
Oh,
Parnox, from what you remember, effectively these eggs, I don't remember how much details I get. Yeah, they could be any creature and at any temperament based on how the person treats the egg and how they behave with the egg during its incubation period. Sure, you committed some war crimes afterwards too.
Oh,
Oh,
am I near?
I
Am
did
I
see
near?
some mental breaks in there. That's good. Okay,
Am I
you
near?
guys say it again.
Am I near Parnox?
Yeah, if you want to be.
All right, so
I'm assuming that at one point in time, you guys can identify on the star as well. Okay, there you go. Put that in items. It's just the items tab. Oh, man. Hold on. I misspoke about so the potion of godly form. I misspoke on something. It's a thin blue liquid gives off an aura of warmth and happiness. When imbibed, it gives a +2 to all ability score modifiers for 10 minutes. When you drink this, you have fits of uncontrollable laughter when you take damage. +2 to all ability score modifiers would be the equivalent of gaining a +4 in each stats for 10 minutes. Or oh, you can identify it. Yes. Yes. To recover sanity, the main way to recover sanity is you spend time inside of your little cabin area. The little handout, I think, actually says something about it too. Let's see if I can find it. It says, um, sanity is the adventurer's ability to face hardships. Um, each adventure has a maximum of 10 sanity. Time adventure 6 sanity damage. They reduce sanity until it reaches 0. If they reach 0, they must roll a fight or flight table. See how the character responds to the horse backland. Maximum sanity can be increased by improving the home base. Items that improve quality of life expand the size of the home base for adventure. Blah, blah, blah. Traveling. Oh, yeah. So mostly the way that you recover it is by spending time at home at your base.
Okay, so would I be able to identify either of those today?
Of which ones? Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Did you also identify the rapier with the gem and pommel? I just add it to any items at any point in time, and then maybe put a tab for like who has it. If that's what I would do at least. Mhm. Mm, should be a rapier. Mhm. Yep. Yeah. We'll do that another day. Yes, it is a rapier. I'll give you that thing for it in a little bit. It's a ruby.
In terms of weapons, again, she just reclassed to like a monk. Okay.
That's nice quarterstaff. It's a quarterstaff that's slashing damage.
Say that one more time. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, so if we're done with the general discussions, we can go to the phase of who does what which day for the next few days. So starting with we'll start with Justin. Justin, for the first day that you guys are back, you guys kind of chill and do stuff and decompress. The next day rises up. What do you guys want to do? Just as a general task for the day. Because you guys have probably till like the 13th is probably the next event that you're gonna have. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
When I used to identify on the star that was on
Yep.
Saturday.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll identify the uh, the flask first.
Okay. This is a this is a um this is a potion. Oh, okay. This is a potion of ironwood skin. So when you swallow this potion, it grows hardened bark around your body that gives you 1d4 AC increase for 1d4 hours.
Okay, so it's like a temporary armor buff.
Mhm. Plus 1 AC for 1 hour, so not terrible. Okay. And yeah, that's what that does.
Okay. I'm good on sanity, so
Let's see, I need to make sure I'm getting my doing. I'm trying to keeping. I'm trying to keep to have the same form of doing potions and stuff, so that's consistent. But I just don't like the format that I currently have for it, so I'm gonna do this instead. Let's do that. Very simple. That's down in items. One potion of ironwood skin.
and for the rest of the day, Isaac's going to wander out into the wilderness and ponder new paths forward in terms of strength.
Okay. All right. So you go out into the wilderness and effectively meditate and look to see how to get swole.
Indeed.
All right. Braden, what do you do for this day?
I'm going to teach my dog a new trick.
Okay, you're going to spend one day to begin the process of teaching the dogo.
Yes.
All right, what would you like to teach this dogo?
I'm actually gonna ask recommendations. He
Yep.
can retrieve items. Like climb a tree, climb a tree.
You could probably, yeah,
Okay.
like do like a simple like task, like climb a tree or something like that.
Yes.
Fetch and climb.
Any recommendations, guys? Doesn't he already know that since he's a wolf?
I mean, yeah, they probably have like a natural attack,
Um,
but to do it on command consistently would be a very good one. Just because my dog can bite doesn't mean they do it every time I say bite.
how about this? Can I actually have a teach him to go for a specific body part where you are critical?
Not for critical. Critical is in the dice, man.
Or can I have it so my dog can roll a critical?
If he rolls a 20, he gets a critical regardless.
Okay.
Critical.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna go with that. Attack on command.
Okay, this will probably take about a full week's worth of training as well for them to actually get it all the way. But
Alright.
you can start this for sure. So roll for me an animal handling check to see if this day is successful. You'll need, I'll say 4 successful checks for it throughout the days.
Okay.
Sugar, calm down. Come here.
Oh.
Yeah, only one. But well, only one. So one for the day, natural 20, which is really good. And you find that the first day, you find that Silver is very inclined to do a kill. You're like, oh, this is a little unnerving, but you know, goes to the third every time. There you go. but is definitely learning the process of doing so. What else would you guys like to do? I'm sorry. Yeah, that's Braden. That's for your day. Frank, what would you like to do? Mhm. Mhm. How many kite and chips you have? Yeah. Is that what you're trying to discern? Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. You just grabbed it and then left, right? Uh, okay. Roll a d10 for me, and then a d4. Okay, there are 6 chitin chips in there. The medic. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So you give this to Kaylin. She looks up. She says, "I don't know what to do with this either. Uh, my I don't know. Rat, Rat, come downstairs." She calls, and he comes downstairs, fixes glasses. What do you need? What? Oh, whoa! You can't just drop stuff like that. In theory, yes. So stuff like this is pretty common among the Asbahans. The higher mages, they tended to use this. This should go to their bodies whenever their bodies are, ready to be awoken. My guess is that all it would need to be done is smashed, broken, and it would be like a jar where its contents just fly out. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Okay, okay. Well, if you want to, if you want a second opinion, get a second opinion. That's all I know. Yeah, you could go over to where the barn is and uh, find. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you go towards this like tiny little barn and you hear like two voices kind of talking and chuckling. And as you kind of enter in, you see uh the Medusa and Lancer like sitting across from each other, and they have like this meal sitting on a table, and they're just enjoying like a lunch together, kind of thing. And you break in, you're like, "Hey, you want to come to town?" He's like,
No. No.
"Yeah." You knock, and he looks. He's like, uh, "Oh, yeah, sure. Will you be fine here for a moment?" I'm gonna do some nods. Wonderful. I will be back in a bit. Yes. Her name is Velihai. I don't know. It's like, yeah. I think that's wonderful. Yeah. Okay. You guys start to go towards the olive branch, and he looks at it and it's like, okay, what do you need? He like looks at it and he's just like, that's not something that you can do. But for the most part, just as though an individual, uh, the magic of soul jars is quite fickle, but this seems to be similar in its purpose. So my guess is you break this near enough, they should return to consciousness. I'm glad that you break it nearby. If you were too far away, then they'd be lost forever. I believe so. Yeah, you break it, you see these spectral images start to swirl around the room, and some go into the wood, and some go into like different rooms. Some just descend into bodies, and you just see, and you start to see the breathing that was once really deep start to go very shallow, and then just then almost all together you hear like this resonant coughing fit from so many people as people start covering their mouths and coughing, and some people just, whoa, what, huh? And you see people standing up just all at once, freaking out, wondering where in the world they are, like trauma victims waking up from a coma, like, oh, what's going on, freaking out a little bit. The room gets from 0 to 100 really quick. So let's see. We're going to our Baltic projects. So you have 2 weeks left on the trade outpost up north. You have 2 weeks left on Parliament's project and 1 week left on the alleviate building materials shortage. And that's the only projects that you have currently working. The other one, orphanage, is complete. And I will actually make a yellow token for it, actually. Let's see. But yeah, the orphanage is complete, and everyone rejoices, knowing that uh, the structure is wonderful and amazing, and some poor kids now will actually have somewhere to live. Yeah. Oh, whoa, what? Whoa, what? Oh, I I have uh this sure. I can answer some questions. And you just kind of start leaving. Yeah. Okay. People start to wake up from the El Sono. Do you go over to find your boy? Yeah. So you go yeah, just whoa, where am I? What's going on? Pardux? What's going on? Ah, ow. Ooh, I can't I just had a I swear I had the weirdest dream. And that's where is he? Yep. No, he's actually probably at the hut or the shack rather. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Well, if I feel a little groggy, but do we have any food and water and stuff? Let me get some food. I, s- I swear, I had the weirdest dream. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go. Uh, hey, it's good to see you. I guess. How long was I asleep? Like a day or something? Like overnight? You're acting weird. I don't get it. A little bit of both. All I don't know what happened with your shoulder. Last thing I remember was just getting the tap. This is weird. It's I'm gonna go get some. He just kind of gets up and like walks out the room shakily, and there's a bunch of people like walking around very confused, trying to figure out what's going on. And like you see like Caitlin is like pouring drinks of like water for people, and like you see the two like big like helper guys are like she's like go do this and she's bossing people around. The owner's just kind of sitting over there slumped, just watching her just run run the show basically, and he's just like, okay, I'll help out however I need. Yeah, he's just like whatever. Alexandria does not. He gets it. Like Alexandria knows when Kaylin's doing her thing, it's just not worth it. Yeah, it really is a lot of that. She looks at you and she says, "Don't worry, darling. I will take care of them and make sure that people are distributed well. I need to do some checkups and make sure people look very confused right now. I think a moment of sitting them down and explaining what's going on and helping them out would be good. But the less stimuli, the better. So please, Parnax, give us a moment. Thank you so very much for your work. The town will hear about this. I sent a courier to let the warden know as well. He'll be ecstatic. Truth be told, you just exposed a problem that was probably waiting in the deep, deep corners of Malta. I'm afraid to have thought of what could have happened to us uh, if it festered. Not many people think too poorly of you in this town, especially after this. You will all be regarded as at least heroes. Okay. What do you guys do? Yeah. You go and Barnox is like tearing up Lixon's like, what's going on? Why are you sad? Where am I? But he looks fine. He looks you see a small little scratch on him that's kind of scarred over a little bit. Just an eternal memorial of the Vendig's once grasp on his heart and his mind, but you just you you just feel somewhere resonant within your life, just a little chuckle, like very a satisfied chuckle. Just like, but yeah, that's it for there. Morning breaks on the next day, and the town is uh, a buzz with many people speaking and whispering. The townsfolk have gathered on the outskirts of the shack, almost in like a flash mob, but not pitchforks in hand. But as soon as you guys walk outside to begin your daily duties, you hear a loud "yeah" and big clapping and a cheer as you guys step out from the shack, rubbing your eyes groggily. The warden kind of steps to the front of the crowd and says, "Now, now, now! I told you, gentlemen and ladies, that these fine folk were going to be the right push that we needed for our town. Now, some of you truly doubt the absolute beauty of the providence of the divine light of Uthiel to lead to these beautiful individuals to our town. But I hope today you've seen that the dark forces of the Vendig are no match for the power of our combined strength and unity together. And these fine folk, if in your mind before have not been considered so, let it today be known that they are family and friends of Balter." And a lot of people start to clap and cheer, and you hear someone in the background go, "Speech!"
I was just like, oh, they were cheering. I thought they might be rioting.
um,
Well, I vote you. You love the pop.
they're all look and then just like slowly turn, like so confused. It's like one of them turns is like, they're not very good at talking, are they?
I'm gonna pull the whole Aang thing where he has the little marble spinning in a circle.
Yeah. They're just like, huh? Yeah, you just have like leaves spinning around. You're like, huh? They're all like, huh? Like, interesting.
The socially
Quite.
awkward druid.
They ended up eventually after some time, if no one does anything, they disperse. The town unity is improved by 20 points as well, 20% points. Hmm. I did. I did. Yep. The unity is at 87% right now, and um, and has only the potential to go up at this point. The Another interesting event. Oh yes, 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 yes. Oh, hold on. You do get a 20 individual boost as well, which does give you quite a bit of a jump of potential people. The town is not the town. Once everyone wakes up, you start to realize how truly crowded Bolter kind of is. A lot of people live in like common houses almost, where you'll have like 15, 20 people living in almost like barrack style rooms. People don't really have much families. And you think the palisade walls to be expanded is definitely a necessary improvement because crowding seems to be the next problem. And also, you have your food stores outside of your walls. So, yeah, and I mean the food stores are locked up, so only certain people can get in there. Yeah, so yeah, you just don't leave it unlocked. So just random person walks in. I want some piece of toast. Just goes and just takes a jar. Yeah, I'm just probably call her V at this rate, honestly, just because it's easy to remember, easy to say.
Found it.
Literally just that, yeah. So, yeah, at the nearing the mid part of the day as well, people are cheering and enjoying a wonderful day of food and uh, excitement. Uh, you all three get a call that says, uh, "Someone needs to meet with you at the gates." Says they have a surprise for you. I don't know who they are. I don't recognize them at least. Now, for the three individuals who are ahead of the town. So you guys make your way to the front of the gate area. And as you guys kind of enter that way, you see an individual in like full chitinous plate mail with a full helm. And behind him, standing flanking, are two guards in uh, weird armor that looks like it's coated in like ceramic plate. And he looks up and he uh, makes a gesture to you and he pulls off his helmet and he looks and this guy has this long dark flowing hair and dark eyes and he like swings it around and he says, "Hail, leaders of Balta. It has come to my attention that you all have created quite a play on territories beyond your current reach to the Alabaster Ruins, am I not mistaken?" My name is Noble Knight Falcor. No, no. Actually, the fact that there is a brave soul who's willing to delve near those ruins so consistently and is willing to even set an outpost has been quite an encouragement. You see, I am of the noble knights of the High Bastion, and we noble knights are just a few who have committed ourselves to a very faithful cause of service to a great lord of ours. It is our pleasure to ally ourselves with that outpost to provide them security, so long as they provide to us uh, a means of reasonable trade and access to your town. Of course, you don't know much of the noble knights. Allow this to be our gesture. And he kind of makes like an open hand towards the forest edge, and you see one of these ceramic knights kind of walk out, and they whistle, and you see a cart come out, and on it looks like a farmer individual, and you recognize one of those faces as one of the individuals from Balter, and he's riding on like a massive like it's like a black beetle kind of thing that's pulling this cart forward, and it's jolting. And in the back, you see mason jars full of this golden substance and chunks of stone. And he gestures it toward the town. It's like, I believe your first shipment of safe goods have arrived. And we can guarantee for you, as the noble knights, safe shipments from this outpost and maybe even others for a modest monthly fee. Small cut of your earnings. What do you think? Caravan escorts, safe, consistent shipments for a small cut? Of course. Oh. You have spoken with great insight. Yes, indeed. We are of the nobles of the Glintfire Castle, the great religious capital of Osmond. We desire to see its strength made manifest across this land as they believed in the great pendulum swing of divinity. And we want to usher that era in across this land. But the high bastion of Glintfire never really truly could fulfill its goal, for there was so much oppression from its other counterparts. We wish to see this place flourish and be strong and be mighty. This land, this continent, to be true and whole again. So we are to the idea. Stone and honey aren't as useful as gold and chitin in these places. It is more beneficial to us to have you make your profit off of it, to be the center point that people, access these materials from. We just take a cut of the coin. I think looking at the earnings that you could potentially profit from this with the right uh materials, more than likely we could take a cut of just 3 gold per month. Modest fee, enough to take care of our individuals and maybe 1 or 2 scrap. It seems small, but for us to part with 3 of individuals to guard this caravan, that would cover them for a month easily, income-wise. And I think it would be the good start of a wonderful relationship. Go for it.
How do we know we can trust them? I mean, you do remember the last boat that came to this town. No, it was the other people.
The Mooney and the Edgies.
The
Yeah.
one right around the city. The one where I almost drowned the city. Well,
Sounds like a good option for us.
I trust no one in general, so I'm gonna leave my option to Isaac. Let him make the final decision.
Sounds like a good option to me.
There you go.
Oh, by all means. So it will benefit you 10 gold, 2 chitin, and 5 scrap per month, and plus 5 food, but you will lose 2 militia and 5 population. It'd be 7. It'd be you. So if you give them No, you'll still need the militia there to protect people while they're actually at the facility. But you will if you take their employment like to guard the caravans, then it will be 7 monthly gold, 2 chitin, 3 monthly scrap, -5 population, -2 militia, +5 monthly food. I think this would be wonderful. Well, we shall allow this material to be off offloaded, and we shall proceed onward. Thank you. Do you have structures for us to rest in for the night, at least? Like a tavern or an inn or something. So, uh, oh, okay, wonderful. Well, we will attempt not to make them too upset. And then you gain some militia back, don't you? Gain 3 more militia back. So you have 4 militia. Ignore those numbers that are over here for militia and power and unity and stuff. It's all going to be on this one sheet because that's like those numbers. Yeah, where it says yeah, like this one over here is nothing now. That's nothing. It's all going to be over here. Except for the well, I don't know. When might keep your gold and stuff. I think gold and unity, yeah, gold, unity, power. Actually, no, I'll keep all of this because this all this actually makes sense. I'm gonna put food at 100 because I don't know what 200 looks like. I don't know why it was at 200. Actually, 200. No, 200 makes sense because you have stores. Um, yeah. Let's see. You get a little bit more of what? Get 7 gold, 2 chitin, 3 scrap. So 2 chitin and 3 scrap. So another +2, 4, 4, 3 scrap. Nice. Man, you guys almost doubled your income right there. Easy. Oh, I'm sorry. You get a +4 to militia. I see. So, no, I misdid this. Let's see. This is a monthly amount that you're getting effectively. So you would have 16 now. You have 16 individuals in the militia that are ready to fight. And yep, okay. Mm, what do you mean? Yes. So at the end of the month, you will gain. When we do at the end of the month, we'll do a like a gross amount of what you gain, and then that just adds over to that little tab over there at the end. So you'll gain at the end of the month 7 population minus 7 population because Osanos is fixed. You'll get 7 population, 20% food minus 10 per 20 population. You have population of what 62, so you are actually going negative in food. You go negative 10 in food. You gain 4 chitin and 15 gold because it's 17 minus 2. You gain 3 because of the building material shortage unless that gets cleared up. You gain 1 militia, 0 power because you have nothing to generate power, and you break even on unity. Until you gain power. So the way to gain power is more doing like political favors or making people indebted to you in a significant way. So like if you went and helped out with these missions for or if you found a way to like, hey, we're going to give to this group this specific thing in exchange for them to owe us, you know. So we're going to actually give like 2 of our monthly scrap to these people who need scrap, like this specific group of mercenaries or whatever, and they are going to help us out with projects when we need them. That's where power would come from in a monthly sense. Yeah, and it's just a net process, so pluses and minus. There's a project you have currently going. If you scroll down to active projects, it is 1 week, 1 week to finish. The other project just finished early because the Noble Knights basically expedited the process. Yeah. You're not really sure exactly how that would benefit. It might be able to give you more hives. You might actually be able to make bee farms. Who knows? Yeah, you have to be able to because you basically get a little bit of sharp honey because you can get them in those little pine cones dripping from the tree, but they can't leave they can't leave. Yeah, they literally can't leave. Yeah, they're like, we don't know where the queen is, and the princess is not ascending because she's like, it's not my job until I find out what happened with the queen. She said she left, and she hasn't been here for a couple years. Okay. Um, that finishes off that day. You guys got quite a bit of things that finished around that time. Let's see. Next day would advance to Gallant's Day, which is the 9th. Ravana, can you roll an animal handling check for me again?
Yes.
This is your teaching silver. Isaac, what would you like to do for this next day?
Oh.
The orphanage is built. That's good enough. You have a successful day of training.
First, I'll identify the rapier.
Oh, okay. Yes. That is good.
Really?
It's like, huh. That's quite interesting.
So Justin.
Rapier
Alright.
goes up dexterity if you want it to as well. So it's a finesse weapon, so it can also be used for dexterity as well. So any dexterity boys such as Tox, Parnox could benefit from it as well. Yeah, it's an interesting little weapon. I thought, that's a cool idea. Let's make that.
Yeah, I like that a lot. We definitely gotta give it to either me or Tox.
Yeah, who commits the most genocide? That's the question.
Isaac.
Hmm.
Just don't slash me.
Oh,
A short sword's piercing. Oh, it's piercing. I know it's weird, but yeah. I think it's. Well, let me double check that though. I want to make sure I'm saying the right thing. Yeah, it is piercing. Yep, I was right. If you have the calendar up, you have to exit out and then bring it back up for it to refresh. But this refreshes over here. So it says Gallant Day, which is like the third day of the week, basically. Oh, the morning starts as the sky darkens to lightning and rain and mayhem above, while the wind tears the trees away from the earth itself. Rivers swell and rage through the area, preventing any form of travel by boat. Uh, you guys aren't doing anything today, I don't think. Not with a big storm out. No, no. This is. I mean, you can go like to and fro, but like it's a big bad day. It's a big bad slow.
Oh.
Yeah. No, there's no calming yourself. It's a big storm. Oh my goodness, that's funny.
Go for it.
and
Which in this case would be horrible.
right.
Well, I mean, yeah, I get you. She's upkept. She doesn't cost you anything per se. She only costs you if you take her with you on a journey. She's just a town. She's a town folk, you know. She does just pay her taxes and keep herself alive.
Go ahead.
You don't play any instruments either.
I already know if I try to use this flute or lute, whatever it is, we're all gonna die. So just give it to her.
No, because you're not proficient with that instrument. So this is something I tend to do with help actions. I tend, unless it's like in combat or if there's an applicable way you could do it, I tend only to give advantage with the help action if someone else is proficient in it. Because it doesn't like yeah, like it doesn't make because I'm sitting there thinking it's like it doesn't make sense if like you have a Boy Scout out there doing a survival thing, and then you throw some random guy in the city to help them out, and he's just like, "Oh, what about this tracks over there?" It's like that's deer tracks. We're looking for a person. It's like you're not helping. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because help action is really cool, but for RP's sake, it's just like I give them advantage. It's like, well, can you can you do it? It makes sense if like you both are good investigators. It's like if you're both good investigators and one's better than the other, and it's like, oh yeah, cool. Nah, got another bard though. That'd be cool. All right. But the storm settles on you guys. Do you want to give Talia this? Okay. Uh, would you like to all then try to recover some sanity? Roll 1d4, please.
2 or
Did I What's our max sanity?
10.
I have 12.
You shouldn't have 12. Tox is like Tox didn't Tox break? Yeah, Tox did break. Oh, I'll no, I'll deal with that when we get to it. Yeah, nah, yeah. Yeah, if that's all you guys want. This is something I also would like to say as well. You should probably, this is just from a game perspective, you should probably do a project to increase to improve your structure that you're living at to get better like to get higher sanity threshold. Well, no, what it does is it gives you a higher maximum. Yeah, let me see what specifically says. Say that again. Yes, 8. Yep, you're up to 8 once per week. Yeah, yeah. Well, the island is currently or is no longer being actually used, I don't think. 'Cause it's out of its gust of I just haven't removed it. Yeah, yep, it's gone. Yep, it's out of bloom. Um, let's see. Sanity, items that improve quality of life or expand the size of home base will help adventurers face the horror of Blacklands. Maximum sanity can be increased by improving the adventurer's home base. That is exactly one of the more important things to be. I mean, like it, yeah, like it's cleaning up, but like you live in just a crowded shack with grungy bed materials and stuff. Like you'd have to go out of your way to be like, I'm gonna go to the scavenger camp and spend money and buy furniture. Eventually, I'm gonna we're gonna have another map with the actual shack looks like inside. We're gonna decorate it and we're gonna expand it. It's gonna be cool. Because I love this. This is something I'm trying to develop with the Blacklands and trying to get a feel for how I want to do it. Is this base building and this home building, this like tying it to the mechanics of the game in an interesting way. It's something I'm trying to workshop and play through in a lot of ways. So that's eventually something I want to do. What is the other thing? What is what is the thing? Oh, okay. You cast Identify on it, and it is not magical, but it is a material known as cold steel. Instead of dealing piercing damage, it deals cold damage. So you can write down a cold steel dagger. And instead of piercing damage, it deals cold the damage. It's very goes around resistances and stuff, especially. You guys did when you guys fought those elves, did you find a black diamond by chance? But not a black diamond. Or a shard. Black sapphire is nothing. Black sapphire is just expensive gem. But you did not find a black diamond. Very good. It's important to know for me. It's very important to know. But you have a tier of Uthiel, right? Or tier of Moonlight? Oh man, someone pop back. Come on, someone do it. Roll a D100. I want to see.
18.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Ravana pulls out a beam and gets ready to plant in the dirt. And then what do? You just like
That's not very nice. I have never even heard of the magic beans yet. I missed that game with magic beans. Oh. Oh, thank God I didn't go to the 18. A treant sprouts. There's a 50% chance the treant is a chaotic evil and attack.
yeah, that'd be funny. If you dump the bag, the contents on the ground, they explode in a 10-foot radius extending from the beans. Each creature in the area, including you, must make a DC 15. Take 5d4 on damage. And then ignites everything around. So how many beans do you have? 7 beans. So you take one bean, almost put it in the dirt, put it back in the bag, and then make the DM sad.
Aw.
Yep. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna say a word.
How bad is it? You might want to get rolling character sheet.
I'm looking right now how bad it would be. Yeah, you might want to roll the character sheet kind of bad. Yeah. Let's see. Uh,
I wish I would have rolled that.
this is
Oh, thank you for He had a golden goose.
such as a great view, a giant's castle, or a different plane of existence.
I mean, it solved its food shortage problem. Less mouths to feed.
Let me see something real quick. I knew it. I stinking knew that if I rolled a D100, that would happen. I was looking just at that one. I was like, I wonder what the possibility. 60-foot explodes a pyramid. Oh my goodness, it would destroy the planet. I was literally looking at that one. I was like, see what the odds are of just that happening. 10%. Okay, cool. It's like a little bit less than 10. Yeah.
Ow. Oof.
If you took max damage, then yes. But you'd probably take only about 30 damage from that.
Kill me.
Let's
Well,
see.
it me at 2
Yeah,
HP.
you take about 30 points of damage on average. The day ends and a new day breaks. It is raining heavily outside, but the trees pour down on you all. But it makes it difficult for you to see in far distance. But aside from that, it's a rainy day. Oh, that's such a good idea. Okay, you're going to use the drift globe and like, what are you going to do with it? Just like leave it on a string? It looks like a small chipped piece of like pillar. Yeah, you just set in the center of this room, like this weird pillar with this drift globe. Oh, in the corner. Oh, okay. It's literally like a lamp. Yeah, you set up a lamp in there. Absolutely. Yeah, if you dedicate this to be there, I will absolutely give you guys a +1 increase to your maximum sanities. That is such a cool looking idea. Just have a drift globe in the corner of the shack, just beaming out.
Can my lizard help too? Because it does glow.
I mean, if you want to leave the Limazard here, I don't think that's as significant as a magical item to improve stuff, but it is pretty cute. And it does glow. But yeah,
He's doing his-
Limazard he's doing his best. He's just a good boy, okay? So everyone can add a +1 to their max save. Yeah, yeah. Give it a little bit of bump. I'll say, yeah, finding the right piece, maybe making a little bit of modifications to it, getting it in there, doing all this within the lane and stuff. We gotta. And now I really have to make a map of this little shack because I want to have to put the little drift globe in there. It's a cool little idea. Okay. Continuing on, what do you guys want to do for this last day? Or no, it's the 10th, so you have a couple of days. Yeah. You see it dropped in. Is it dropped in chat? Do you see it in chat? What? Oh, so you don't see anything that says like something like this. That's
Oh.
different. But you don't see anything that looks like it says. Okay. So the calendar, it's not. Oh, I mean the calendar updated for me. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, the heavy rain for the day, unless you guys want to do anything else different, it just kind of makes it for a kind of dull day.
Was Isaac able to glean any insight as to what his future could be when he was meditating?
Okay. We can actually delve into that. Roll for me a what is Isaac trying to tap into? What is his goal? Like what is he looking for?
He's trying to see what
Just
his
quite
power
curious.
scheme would look like if he were to break his limits
Oh,
and
okay.
break the next limit.
Give for me a. You cast spells with intelligence, so roll for me a general intelligence check, trying to see what capabilities you'd have more of. You're thinking and mulling over it. Something that keeps ringing in your head, even when you're not thinking much about it, is most of these old eldritch creatures keep referring to you as this what child of Osmahad. This, like you have some deep heritage with this continent, the ancient people of old here, and you mull that over and you think about the stone on your arms and even the arcana that you wield, and you're trying to figure out some way to push beyond that or to make sense of of a moment beyond that, and then something kind of strikes you. You think in a practical sense, um, the way how you fight and the way how you deal with things, uh, uh, something that would be able to push you beyond, but you don't know how you can make it come to be. The ability to push and shove and move people around, to to maybe use the weight of the stone on your arms to make you hit a little harder, or add more foot force behind your strikes, to where, like, if you stab someone with your short sword, like, in the conclusion of it, it knocks them even further back or something like that. You think that might be a potential journey, and you see in your head all the pieces coming together, where you have one of these strikes where you form this stone not on your arm but on the edge of your weapon, and you strike a creature, and the sharp edge of it loses its, like, the bladedness of it, and instead turns into, like, this bludgeoning tool where you strike them and they stagger back, and the booming energy coalesces on them, and then they're just stuck there. Can't hit you back, can't do anything unless they approach. So if they do so, the energy collapses on them. You see their arms and shoulders just fold in, they buckle in, and they collapse down on the ground. You see that pathway, like, before you, this mastery of this material that is part of your body. And you also see another weird way. You see you in your mind with an odd weapon. It looks at first like a sword, but then there's another creature that is approaching towards you in your mind's eye. You take your arm and you swing the blade, and the blade snaps in the center, and you see these dark obsidian chains that connect one end of the blade to the other, and the blade whips out at a farther distance, and you strike the creature away, and it comes back like a chained weapon. And you know for a fact that the mastery you have over that moment all comes from your control over whatever this obsidian that courses through your body is.
I like where this is going.
So you, although how you can facilitate that mastery on it, you don't you don't know how you can do that, but you do see that pathway opening up.
Mhm.
Perhaps deeper study into the ancient Osmohatans might show how they, uh, maybe if they had the same, properties as you do, maybe how they had mastery of their abilities. Learning of your history might unlock their ancient powers, prowesses.
Right.
Yep.
I'm going to keep that information in the back of my mind, and then I'm going to wait for nightfall. And
So he either gets the byleth chain or he turns his sword to a baseball bat and smacks people away. I love both. Jokers.
yeah, I'm going to wait for nighttime, and then I'm going to take a stroll around the town and observe the people that I see walking around, particularly looking for any types of shady individuals.
As you walk through the rainy kind of streets, looking around to see if there's anyone odd or maybe standing out to you. Roll just a general perception check for you. As far as you can tell, the town is relatively quiet. The only thing that catches your eye is you're seeing the individuals out towards Parliament still working, burning the candle on both ends on this massive structure they have to the south. They're trying to do their absolute best to get the project done, despite all the difficulties and complexities. That's all you face. Town seems quiet. You guys end up finishing through that day, unless Ramon, did you want to do anything particular for that one day? It's raining. There's not much you can do.
Uh-huh. I'm just gonna meditate.
Take some time and meditate. Um, you when you're thinking, you just keep focusing, and you notice that you're always subconsciously grasping this locket that sits around your neck, and it's yours. It's ours. It's yours.
What about that thing?
It's your best. And you feel as if though part the longer that you are in possession of it, the more your dreams get every once in a while mixed in with some random other individual, a lady who was once a farmer, bits and pieces of her memory. You get a little bit of her childhood, a little bit of her adulthood. You see a small little brother run around, tease them. You feel your essence being intermingled with another person the longer you have this, because it's yours, it's ours. And you feel as if though as your essence starts to combine with this spectral figure, it may produce different results. Who knows? It might be hard to tell who really is Ravana. That's
Do I feel anything change within me or no?
very, very normal. Just you just know that this is your locket, and you have every once in a while just a weird dream or two. You just feel more connected to the individual who owned it before. Well, it's always been your locket, after all.
Alright.
You can remember from a childhood having this locket. You remember playing with your brother with this locket. Your father gave it to you. Small things like that. But then you realize, oh wait, no, that wasn't me. That was someone else. But it was actually me.
Am I conscious of me having these dreams, or is just
It is, but you are a little bit like you understand that they're not yours, but at the same time, it doesn't feel weird. It just feels fine.
am I able to meditate on the fact that I try to communicate with these dreams? Kind of like lucid dreams.
That would be something you would need to actually appreciate for some like ritual stuff. Do you have a druid friend who might be able to help you out with that?
Can I for my last night? Can I actually bring this up to the druid?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I just advanced the calendar for the 12th because that's where I kind of want to end up too tonight, but it's getting really late.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. And what happens is you guys probably spend some time cleaning and making sure everything is tended to around the town, enjoying a little bit of time of rest uh, until the 12th, which is the day before the big meeting. Um, we can pick up at the very start of the next session on what we do with the last 2 days, but we will effectively have considered it on the 12th because 13th is when we'll have our meetings and do our next.
Is
Next.
my druid thing the next game, or are we
Yeah.
ending it there?
Yeah, we're about to end it here. You can talk to the druid next session.
All right, cool.
Cool. Yeah. Question of the day is how possessed will Braden be by the end of this day?
I'm probably like Spiegel.
How many deals will Frank have taken? And how anime can Justin get? And these are the questions I have for the day. Who said you can't be?
I have a weird feeling I'm going to
I mean,
attack.
that's
my
true.
own-
That is true, but he's spoken for because you already have a deal with him.
I'm 100% certain it's gonna be a boss battle, and I'm gonna be the boss at one point.
That'd be very fun. All right.
You don't
man.
know.
If it becomes a boss battle, believe me, it would be a boss battle. I don't do half-hearted boss fights. Well, fun having you guys. Sorry we couldn't have John and all that toxic.
I mean,
Mhm.
You have a, I mean, you have a thief. You have two thieves now. Lock fixed up. Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. I understand. I'm glad that you said that because it makes sense now. Yes. And you specifically left out a very important feature about this. And it's a feature, not a bug. There's a chest in amber located in the Ash Peak Mountains at the base of a great billowing beast.
hey, what was great about the session? Got to learn more about structure than more combat, especially for my game.
It's just small little things. The thing is I run games very differently than how a lot of other games do. I have a very open world concept. And so like for instance, if I ask, what is the main goal for this campaign for you guys? What is it?
Main goal of this campaign,
Yeah. What is the main purpose? What is the main goal?
I feel like it's to get back into the what was the name of the original castle we were all in?
Last Wall Bastion?
Mm,
He- yeah, I mean he's the one who branded you guys as exiles. I mean, but like, yeah, you guys got kicked out for corruption inside the Bastion. Not necessarily him. It's just that he's just the individual who magically. But real talk, like is the purpose for you guys to make like a glorious society of civilization? Is it to find the other bastards? Is it to make your way back in the last wall? Is your way to find a way to fix the corruption of the Blacklands? Is your way to unite the people? Really the point is they're really it like you can do all of those things or none of those things. Right. Or take down all bastion or fix all of like the inner political things or make Volter become some god state, like make a new bastion. There, and that's really kind of what it is this is different than your campaign because you have set a very clear goal and and I have not. And that's fine. It's actually perfectly fine because from the get go, I intended for this not to be a perfectly set goal. Because for me, it really just doesn't make it like it doesn't make this type of game interesting. If they're like, why would I have a like why would I have a home base if I'm trying to do something else? You know what I mean? Like the home base has to be something. What that does is like this the purpose of this is to my concept I think is to create a hereditary campaign. So like a campaign that your adventurers go to a certain good jump off point, like you get level 10 or level 12, and they've done something significant in this world. And then the next group of adventurers are raised up there. And it doesn't feel like there's no reason why they couldn't be raised up. You know what I mean? And that they come from Baltar or they've joined this town and or maybe they were NPCs who existed and now you're like, hey, I want to play this NPC action now. I want to be them. Like like I just want it to be a lot more open because that's my hope is that I want it to be a world like a very interesting way. Yeah. Like, so like that's something that I think is cool. But like for instance, with your campaign, Brady, with there being a set